Oh, would you look at that? I'm in the jungle. No, I'm in space. No, I am sitting in my bedroom in front of a green screen, and the reason I've got a green screen is because I needed one for the very first short film that I ever made, Isolation. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Links in the description below. Let's get into the making of Isolation.
No, please let me out.
So the idea for Isolation came way back, even before lockdown was a thing, which was quite ironic because during lockdown I thought I should make it, but I felt I didn't have the resources for it quite yet. Then one day I saw the music bed competitions coming up again, and I figured what a great opportunity to make my first short film with that idea that I had, and we only had 2 days to shoot. So that was a bit stressful, especially considering that I had no crew. It was just me and my mom. Thank you so much, Mom. You are awesome. You're the best. And I love you. I love you, Mommy. I'm not shy to say I love my mommy on the internet. So there was a lot of test shots happening where I'd sort of get the framing more or less, and then we just play another clip and she'll record a bit and I'll try it again and again and again until we sort of got the right framing. And I was sort of trying to direct my mom into what I was looking for, so it was a bit tough.
God bless you.
And we got a bit in each other's hair, but overall she got it more or less right, so that was good enough. And I'm very thankful for the help, and I'm very thankful that you put up with all my nonsense, Mom.
Ja, maar wait the hell.
Wait the delay, Die tijd.
Maar los.
There were 4 characters that I played, so we had to shoot backwards because I realized each new character coming in had significantly more hair. So we had to start right at the end with future Tommy, who has been there for a very long time. So he's got like long hair, he's got a long beard, he's all old and wrinkly, he's got a lot of stuff in his beard. How we got this right was by using a lot of powder and a little bit of white paint to achieve this look. Also spent a lot of time weathering the clothes and tearing it up and stuff like that. So we had to shoot everything with future Tommy in. After that, shaved most of it and styled myself and got myself ready for Thomas, the posh guy with the horrible accent.
Well, of course you did, chap.
So I had to make sure that I leave my stash and enough facial hair for the next character, and I had to shoot everything with Thomas. And so we did that with all the characters, shave, style, do the whole thing from beginning to end of the next character. So essentially we had to shoot everything 4 times, each going through each character. So that took a lot of effort, a lot of timing, and a lot of remembering where we did what. So it was very important to keep a shot list to know where we were and what was happening. Eventually that went out the window because stuff got really complicated. So instead of using the actual shot list, we started calling the stuff like Future Tommy Wide, just so that we knew what was happening. Mark. VFX, Tom, wide, Mark. Tom, point of view, take 2, Mark. 1, Tommy reaches the NP's close-ups, take 1. Tom, old man, take 1, the Rick and Blick shake. Then, obviously, we used a lot of green screen shots. Just put the character in front of the green screen, record the whole scene, take out the green screen in post, and then sync the 2 clips with the one guy doing his stuff and the other guy doing his stuff. So the timing's right, the angle's right. All those shots were locked in on a tripod, and then in post-production I added motion just to give more of a handout feel, so it just blends a bit better.
You know exactly how you got here. I said.
But there was a lot of effort in post, especially cleaning up a lot of the stuff around me and making sure that the room seems empty.
Haven't you already been over this with that other asshole?
There were a couple of mistakes.
Leave him alone, Tommy. Oh,
A couple of microphone in here and an object in the background there. So it was a bit tough to avoid, but luckily I shot everything in 4K so I could just crop in a little bit in post. To sell the effect more, I had my mom dress up as some of the characters. For example, the scene where Thomas puts his hand on Tommy's shoulder, I'd get my mom to put on my rings, put her arm through the sleeve of the suit and put it on my shoulder, and at the right cues do the right shake, tap and everything. And we just did the scene a couple of times, so it felt a bit ridiculous, but I think that's what sells it in the end, because there's a bit more connections. A lot of people know how to do the whole split screen effect, a lot of people know how to do the green screen effect, but the second you start interacting with yourself, that's when people are like, wait, how the hell did they do that? So with each and every character we did that as well. I made sure there was at least one interaction with them to just pull it together. For example, there where future Tommy, the old man, gets grabbed by Tommy and he gets shaken up. I had my mom grab me and shake me, but we just try to frame her hands in such a way that you don't realize it's her hands, and then just use like a little short part of that. But my oh my, how many times we had to shoot all of these special effects. Tapping me on the head, pretending to be Tom. It was tough to get the timing right of each character to go over the same lines in my head and then respond to them, and still trying to have that emphasis.
I just want to go home. I just want to go. I don't want to do this anymore. There had to be another way.
Then, because we were in such a small room with no windows and no furniture, there was a lot of reverb.
I just want to go home.
So I couldn't use a lot of the audio that we shot on the location. And halfway through the shoot, my lavalier microphone broke. So I had to do ADR, which stands for automated dialogue recording, which is basically when you dub the audio in post-production. Recite those lines of each character over and over and over and over again in the same way, the same pitch, the same style.
I said, you know exactly how you got here. I said, you know exactly how you got here. I said, you know exactly how you got here.
Personally, I think it didn't come out too bad either. Yeah, there's a few places which are questionable, but I kind of like it. For example, where Thomas comes in and says, I've eaten steak tougher than this guy. He looks drunk because of the way the sound is coming out and the way his lips are moving.
Wrong. This guy,
Tom.
I've eaten steak tougher than him.
I've eaten steak.
I loved it because it just added some more vibe to the character. But after doing all of the sound and the ADR, it was basically just mixing the levels a bit and then doing a lot of Foley, because every slap, bump, tap, footstep, shake that happened, like I said, had way too much reverb in the live audio. And then finally, that final shot, I used stock footage. I just pulled something from Pexels, also it's free, and I just did some motion tracking to just follow the motion of the drone shot, and I slapped on a billboard that I designed from using pictures from Pexels again, just free pictures and stuff, and made a billboard. And then I put the billboard on the billboard, and then I just put some film grain on there, and I just blended it a bit better, and then boom, that's how I got the billboard in at the very end. It's just some motion tracking and a bit of graphic design, I guess. And then finally, the title. I spent way too long on the title because I made a 3D title in Resolve with camera track and lights moving around, and it's all automated and it's all fun. Spent too much time on it because all you see is just like a title popping up, and then it sort of just glows a little bit as it spreads out, and then the end. But yeah, that's basically how we made Isolation, my mom and I. I wish I had more time to work on the color grading. I wish I had more time to fine-tune a few of the shots. So essentially, the biggest thing I learned from this is just time, just having more time. But for the time that we had, doing all of this in about a week, no crew, I think it didn't come out too bad. So I'm very proud of my very first short film, Isolation. And let me know in the comments if you have checked it out. Let me know what you think. If you don't mind and you enjoyed it, head over to MusicBed and give it a old thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for your time. I'm Steve, the writer, director, the leading star, editor, the sound recordist, the music supervisor, and the overall everythinger of the short film Isolation. Tommy Wiseau ain't got shit on me. Thank you for your time. I'm Steve, and this is how we made Isolation. Be sure to go check it out. Have a good one.